Rise and shine. You're watching WCTV Eyewitness News. The Good Morning Show starts now.
All right, it's about 5:33 right
is.
now, and we're rolling along on this morning.
Did you deal with some of that fog on the way in this morning?
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was a lot, and it's weird because it's been foggy since Monday, yesterday, and this morning.
We're getting to that point in the year.
Okay.
We know it starts to get muggy out there. You get the fog in the mornings. It's part of the deal. We're into May now, my friends, and for sure we're going to be dealing with this fog, I think, over the next couple of mornings until maybe we can change this air mass out maybe a little bit early next week. But for the remainder of this week, lots of warm and some muggy. Look at some of the temperatures here on the big board. 69 in Tallahassee. We're at 68 degrees in Bainbridge. A little cooler in Perry and Live Oak where it's 63. A couple of those visibility numbers, though, right? Panama City at 1/4 mile. Same in Perry. 3/4 of a mile for Tallahassee and for Apalachicola. So we're going to deal with some of that fog. I don't see a lot on the radar picture here. I don't expect a lot around here early. But I think those chances for showers, even if they're small chances, they're still around this afternoon, something similar to what we saw yesterday, and that could mean a couple of stronger thunderstorms mixed in there too. All the while, going to get hot. Those top temperatures way up through the 80s. I'll break it all down. Full forecast in just a couple of minutes.
We're continuing to follow details of a deadly plane crash in Calhoun County. The sheriff's office there says it happened at the county airport around 4:40 yesterday afternoon when the plane was trying to take off. We now know in total 2 people have died and 2 others are being treated at Tallahassee Memorial for substantial injuries. Sheriff Glenn Kimbrell tells us one of the victims killed on the small 4-seater plane was a deputy and school resource officer with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. He says that deputy was William Randy McCrone. It was also his last day as a school resource officer. The other person killed has been identified as local business owner Steve Mears Jr.
It's tragic anywhere it happens, but what you have in Calhoun County is everybody knows everybody, and you have a daily contact with almost everyone, and so you personally are involved in everybody else's life, so to speak, and you know them well, and you just become friends with people.
What caused the crash is still unknown at this time. The FAA and the NTSB will begin their investigation later this morning.
All right, now to Liberty County, where a fire at a preschool building forces the evacuation of dozens and cancels school for hundreds more. As Jacob Murphy explains, the fire was contained to an administration building, which was empty at the time, and no one was hurt.
House of Learning overtaken by emergency crews Tuesday in Bristol. Crews say this preschool admin building was engulfed in flames just before 10 this morning. Firefighters arrived quickly. Superintendent of Schools Kyle Petty was at the nearby high school when he got the calls.
I ran through the halls. I broke the rules there. Ran through the halls to get over here.
He said at first he only had one thing on his mind.
My main concern was the children. Any children, as all the children been accounted for, and they were.
Evacuations went without a hitch. Petty says that's a credit to years of proper training.
They did exactly what they have been trained to do, the staff, the kids, and everybody. So all the kids were out, removed from the situation. They were not in danger of any fire at any time.
It was like this.
A purse recovered from the aftermath scarred black by the fire.
There was snow.
Tanner is a kindergartner who was evacuated from next door, having to leave his possessions in his class.
I left my book bag.
A small problem to have for a school thankful it wasn't worse.
And that was Jacob Murphy reporting. The entire K-8 building next to the pre-K buildings shut down yesterday because of lingering smoke, but we're told there shouldn't be any long-term damage there.
In national news, an update now on a bizarre story out of Alabama. Authorities released new surveillance video of an inmate's escape from a detention center. It shows inmate Casey White being escorted into the back of Officer Vicky White's patrol car on Friday. The corrections officer was supposed to take the murder suspect to his court appearance, but instead the Lauderdale County Sheriff says they drove to a nearby shopping center there. They got out into a copper-colored 2007 Ford Edge. You can see the surveillance video there now. Authorities now say they believe Casey White and Vicky White may have had a romantic relationship starting in 2020.
Yesterday, the admissibility of this undercover video hotly debated in court. Attorneys readying for the upcoming murder trial of Catherine McBanawa. A newly enhanced recording of a meeting between McBanawa and Charlie Adelson will be shown to the jury. Now, the state wants to add subtitles, the defense arguing the subtitles are inaccurate and misleading. The judge saying he'll take it under advisement and issue a ruling soon. McBanawa is facing charges in the 2014 murder of FSU law professor Dan Markell. Charlie Adelson was arrested and charged in the plot last month.
A Starbucks in Tallahassee is now becoming the first in Florida to unionize. The announcement made yesterday at the Starbucks near the corner of North Monroe and John Knox Road. It's the 55th Starbucks in the country voting to unionize. 6 more Starbucks stores in Florida will be voting over the next few weeks. A Starbucks spokesperson saying in part, "From the beginning, we've been clear in our belief that we're better together as partners without a union between us, and that conviction has not changed. We respect our partners' right to organize and are committed to following the NLRB process." 5:40 now. Yesterday, Leon County hosted its first community event to tackle an issue impacting families across our area: food insecurity. The 9-day series event is a sit-down between the community and the Leon County government, Second Harvest of the Big Bend, and the Children's Services Council of Leon County.
Goal at the end of the day is to identify those and work collectively as a community, county, city, CSC, and nonprofits, for-profits, to figure out ways that we can together come up with solutions and actually implement and resolve some of the issues.
Yesterday's event was in the Griffin Heights neighborhood, which reports 52% of its households being food insecure. The next dinner will be held today at Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church on Tuskegee Street from 5:30 to 7 p.m. All right, it's 5:41 right now, and Rob, you know, we talked about that fog earlier, and kind of a weird start to this Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we do have that fog. It's very muggy outside, and I think that's going to stick around, so get ready to feel that humidity a bit more. We're into May now. Not only does it get warm, but that humidity reaches out and grabs you a little bit too. A lot of us are going to see temperatures starting someplace in the 60s, but quickly climbing into the 70s, and I think climbing all the way through the 80s for daytime highs. Not a lot on the satellite radar composite picture around here just yet. Some showers way out to the east that fizzled out overnight. Some showers way up near Atlanta also continuing to fizzle out. And we've got some clouds from time to time, and I think we'll have some decent sunshine early today that'll get these numbers cranking. It's 69 right now in Tallahassee, 68 in Thomasville. It's 66 in Quincy. Valdosta is 64, same with Perry. We're at 63 degrees in Live Oak. Not a lot of wind out there. If there is a breeze, it's kind of variable. I think it'll be more from the east at times today, turning south. And that's just going to bring in some more of the warmer, more muggy air. And look at some of these visibilities. That whole Highway 319 corridor, Tallahassee, Thomasville, Moultrie, all down to 1/4 mile. Same in Perry. So got to be careful out there. You know the vermin are going to be lurking. That fog gets kind of thick. And I think it's something that's going to linger past 8 o'clock. On the Futurecast, maybe a couple of showers pop up this afternoon like yesterday, and they can be some decent downpours, even with some strong wind gusts or like we saw yesterday with some of the hail in some of those spots. So you can get some of that with this kind of setup. So much available moisture and some energy in the upper part of the atmosphere, but it's not a widespread, everybody gets wet kind of rain event, and it's not going to be. So far, we've yet to reach a 90-degree temperature. I think the last one we had was back in the middle of October. Let's hope we can hold it off for maybe another couple of days. I won't put 90s on that map until we get one. I hope I don't have to change that anytime soon.